No matter where you grew up, I'm sure you became familiar with a drugstore near you. Maybe it was a local mom-and-pop one, or perhaps it was a major chain. Sadly, many of these older drugstores no longer exist. The drugstore business is a cutthroat industry to say the least. There have been plenty of regional and national drugstores that have seen tremendous growth and expansion, only to be devoured by more successful and larger competitors. For the most part, the dominant drugstore would then retire its acquisitions brand in the initial years following the merger. In this video, we will have a look back at some of the drugstores that are no longer around. Eckerd Pharmacy was an American pharmacy retail chain that began in 1898 in Erie, Pennsylvania. It was named after the founder, Joseph Milton Eckerd. At its peak, they were the second largest pharmacy chain in the United States, with 2,802 stores in 23 states as far west as Arizona. In 1996, they were purchased by J.C. Penney, who spent years trying to turn around the company but failed at doing so. In 2004, Eckerd was divided when 1,271 stores and its mail order business were sold to CVS. The remainder of the stores went to Jean Coutu, who sold the chain to Rite Aid in 2007, and the name was soon phased out. Brooks Pharmacy began in 1932 and eventually grew to more than 330 locations throughout the New England and New York area. In 1994, Revco acquired the Brooks chain, which at the time had stores from Maine to Maryland. Revco had no interest in operating the Brooks stores within the New England area, so they sold them to the Jean Coutu Group. The stores outside of that area were rebranded to Revco. Brooks continued to acquire more stores in the New England area. By 2005, Coutu merged the operations of Brooks and Eckerd's headquarters. In 2006, Brooks stores were acquired by Rite Aid, who rebranded all of the stores. Hook's Drugstores was an Indianapolis, Indiana chain that was founded in 1900 by John A. Hook. In 1985, the Kroger Company acquired the Hook's chain. A year later, Kroger divested itself of Hook's and its own SuperRx drugstores, and they became privately owned under the name Hook's SuperRx. In 1994, they were acquired by Revco and then subsequently acquired by CVS in 1997. A restored Hook's Drugstore stands at the Indiana State Fairgrounds, and it is a popular attraction. Katz and Best Off, or K&B, was a drugstore that was headquartered in New Orleans and was founded in 1905. The drugstore chain became well known for its unique purple color, which was on signs, cash registers, uniforms, and just about everything. In fact, people from New Orleans still describe this shade of purple as K&B Purple. The K&B chain had stores throughout the Gulf States region. In 1997, K&B sold its assets to Rite Aid, and the stores were all rebranded. Happy Harry's was an American drugstore chain that was founded by Harry Levin in 1962. The first store was opened in Wilmington, Delaware, and it was simply called Discount Center. Harry became known for his always cheerful disposition, and customers referred to his store as Happy's. Upon opening his third store in 1965, he decided to change the name to Happy Harry's Discount Drugs. At their peak, they had 76 locations in Delaware, Pennsylvania, Maryland, and New Jersey. In 2006, they were acquired by Walgreens. Initially, Walgreens kept the brand name, but then changed the stores to Walgreens. However, the stores in Delaware were modified to Happy Harry's, a Walgreens pharmacy. The stores then went through significant interior and exterior modifications to meet their standards. In April of 2011, the last Happy Harry's was completely converted to Walgreens. Pharmore was a chain of discount drugstores that was based out of Ohio and began in 1982. Their main business model was to sell a large quantity of merchandise with a very small profit margin. They were known for advertising low prices just to bring people in. Some of their popular slogans were "Far more for less," "Far more buying gives you far more buying power," and "Power buying saves you at Pharmore." Pharmore was the one retailer that Sam Walton, the founder of Walmart, actually feared. He couldn't understand how Pharmore grew so quickly. In 1992, the company had grown to over 300 stores and 25,000 employees. However, the founder Michael Monas and his chief financial officer were accused of embezzlement. They took money from Pharmore and moved it to the World Basketball League, which was also founded by Monas. This led to financial and legal troubles for Pharmore and Monas. Prosecutors in a trial estimated that the total loss to all investors exceeded $1 billion, and Monas was sentenced to 9 years in prison. The financial troubles continued with years of bankruptcy, and in 2001, the company was removed from the NASDAQ stock market. Despite closing numerous stores, the company failed to compete with CVS and Walgreens. In 2002, Pharmore filed for another bankruptcy, which resulted in the liquidation of Pharmore's remaining stores and inventory. Revco Discount Drugstores was once a major chain that operated throughout the Ohio Valley, Mid-Atlantic states, and the southeastern United States. They were founded in 1956 in Detroit, Michigan, and they were originally known as the Registered Vitamin Company. Up until 1983, Revco had tremendous growth with over 2,200 stores and $2.2 billion in sales. That same year, the vitamins were blamed for the deaths of a number of premature infants. This led to a series of bad business deals and on to bankruptcy in 1988. When they emerged from bankruptcy in 1992, the chain had shrunk from 2,200 stores to about 1,500. Revco then focused on getting more stores by acquiring 800 from the Hook Super RX in 1994. But despite this huge effort, the company entered into an agreement with Rite Aid to be bought out. The Federal Trade Commission stepped in and cited that it would be a monopoly if Rite Aid moved forward with that, so Rite Aid withdrew their bid for the company. In 1997, the company had some eyes from CVS looking at it, but the FTC stepped in once again. Ultimately, Revco was split between CVS and Eckerd, with a few southern stores going to the Medicine Shop Inc. CVS took control of the records and tried to prevent Eckerd from having direct information transferring from Revco's computers. Instead, they provided microfiche, which required Eckerd drugs to manually re-enter the data, and it impaired their ability to compete. The FTC fined them $600,000 for the violation. CVS also had to pay $1.58 million to the Virginia Board of Pharmacy for violating state regulations on transferring patient prescription records. Today, retail pharmacies such as CVS, Walgreens, and Walmart pretty well dominate the drugstore market, but that wasn't always the case. Some of the now defunct drugstores may have been the staple in their region. Memories were made there, and these were the kind of places where we knew everyone that worked in there. If we have learned anything from the past, it's that today's drugstore might not be there tomorrow. Those that are around now better set the changes for the future, or they might suffer the same fate. What were some of the drugstores that you used to go in? Let us know in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for watching.